Mr. Tice has united with former Ukip leader Nigel Farage and warned against the Labour Party's decision to back another referendum on Brexit. Shadow Foreign Secretary Emily Thornberry claimed on Tuesday that another vote should be a choice between Remain and Prime Minister Theresa May's deal. Speaking to LBC's Mair, Mr. Tice said, "We would all boycott. I think the whole Leave side would boycott. The whole thing would be completely invalid." Richard Tice, the whole thing would be completely invalid. The Leave means Leave founder and former co-chair of Leave. EU insisted Britain would vote to completely leave the EU if it was an option in a second Brexit referendum. Mr. Tice added the choice should be in a second referendum between Theresa May's deal or a WTO deal, because that is why Parliament is completely split on this issue. WTO would win hands down. If the choice was between a WTO Brexit and Remain, I think Leave would win by 60 to 40. Brexit News. Richard Tice says Brexiteers will boycott second Brexit vote. Image. Sky News. The reality is the mood in the country is growing for a WTO Brexit. And Nigel Farage is completely right. That would not be a valid referendum and we would all boycott it. Prior to the comments, Mr. Farage warned any second referendum that did not include a no-deal Brexit would be an outrage. Mr. Farage said, if there was a second referendum and it was Remain against her deal, I've got to tell you, and I mean this, I would not vote, I would not campaign, I'd go fishing for a month because it wouldn't even give us the option of genuinely leaving the European Union. Shadow Brexit Secretary Sir Keir Starmer confirmed that if Mrs. May's deal got through Parliament, Labour's policy was for it to be put to a referendum, with remaining in the EU as the alternative option. He told BBC Radio 4's Today programme, "We specifically agreed yesterday, as the Labour Party, that if the Prime Minister's deal gets through, that deal should be subject to the lock, if you like, of a public vote in the way that Jeremy Corbyn spelled out yesterday." Speaking to LBC Nick Ferrari, Sir Keir also said, the choice should be between a credible Leave option and Remain. "We expressly agreed that if the Prime Minister's deal gets through, then that deal should be subject to the lock, if you like, of a public vote. Obviously precise wording will be a matter for Parliament, but that's the basic option." When asked what he would campaign for in the event of a second referendum, Sir Keir said, "I would campaign for Remain."